Okay, I guess we're live. Dave and everybody on Raise TV, welcome to the official Movember wrap party. And I'm going to say right away to give me a little leeway is this, strangely enough, throughout the entire pandemic, is my very first video conference meeting. So I'm learning this as we go, but and probably a little rusty when it comes to doing beer presentations, since it's been unfortunately over 8 months since the Raise Growler Gallery has been open. But thankfully, due to my good friends with the Dear Friends of Movember, we're here and we're going to do a little drinking together finally. Dave, welcome.
Hey, Brother Rob, cheers to you, man. It's great to see you.
So, I mean, we've gotten to do this in person before in the past. Uh, Tell us, remind the audience why we're here together again.
Absolutely. Well, first, thanks for having me. It's great to be working with the Beer Friends this year and in many years past, and with Raise. Thanks so much for hosting, for what you've done this month to raise some funds, get our partners out there, get our name out there, and our mission, our cause. So Movember is a charity that started in Australia in 2003. First year was just for funsies, and they just grew some mustaches because they love Tom Selleck so much. And then they said, we should put some money towards this if we're just a bunch of dudes growing mustaches. So a couple years later, they threw some money at the Prostate Cancer Foundation of Australia. And then in 2007, they moved their way over to the United States. And I've been a 13-year Mobro now. One of the probably OG Mobros in Milwaukee. And I've been a community ambassador for the program in the past, and captain of our direct supply team. And it's very near and dear to my heart for a lot of reasons. But really what Movember is it's a 501c3 charity. It's totally legit. It's above board. It's not, we're not messing around when we're talking about raising funds for the benefactors and making sure money goes to programs for men's health, not just physical, but mental health awareness as well. So when we think of Movember, I want you to think of 21 countries, $900 million raised, over 1,250 men's health programs since 2003. So a lot of people haven't really heard of us much because we're so underground. This is how we do our marketing. It's very guerrilla based. The money, 70% of what Movember takes in goes to the program. So you're not going to see like ribbons all over the place. You're not going to see banners and signs and hear a lot of radio spot ads or commercials on television, because this is how we grow it. We shave down on the 1st of November. We grow a mustache for 30 days. We're here to change the conversation about men's health. So when we say change the conversation, you get something on your face that looks like an icebreaker. And if someone's never seen you with a mustache, they're gonna be like, what is going on, man? What is that filthy caterpillar over your lip? And then you can start talking, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about men's health. And that's something that men typically aren't great at. Let's be honest.
Absolutely. How did you fit in with the 6 guys that we're going to have to suffer through a conversation with for the rest of the night?
Absolutely. Hey, look at John and I, Lutzy was just doing a guest bartending spot for a silent auction we did, 5-6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, over at Stubby's. And, there was a number of partner beers, Three Sheeps is there early on. They got on our tap lines, and they were given, I think, $1 from every pint for the month. Back to the charity. So 30 days of Movember, 30 days of great beers, and even the little mustache icon on the menu to tell you, like, this is a Movember supporting beer. So we're in Milwaukee. We had one of our shirts a couple years ago said crafting a better men's health. Obviously we want to make sure that we're cognizant of drinking, responsibly and in moderation at all times. We don't want to drink for the wrong reasons. We don't want to drink to avoid our problems or to get away from our problems. This is a celebratory event. We're cheersing a great month of fundraising. Over $80,000 raised in Milwaukee this year, which is great in a tough year, a very tough year with COVID.
Yeah, it's one that we've worked with here, in a conversation that we've had to have with some people of when raising money, how do you ask people to raise money in 2020? And I guess, do you have any insight in offering suggestions for other Mobros out there how to raise more funds and bring more awareness, people?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, tough year, right? I mean, I think we set very modest goals at Direct Supply. We were saying if we can get 10 grand this year, that'll be a great year. And we've raised 30,000 in the past. Direct Supply helps us out with a corporate match. Corporate matches are always a great way. If you've got a team with some very, kind of community, civic minded folks at the helm, they've always thrown some money at it when we hit our match number. But real grassroots efforts. So in the past at Direct Supply, just for example, and out in the community, we've done things like silent auctions. We've done volleyball tournaments. On campus at our company, we've done bags tournaments, dodgeball tournaments, things that can be fun, things that encourage physical movement, which is very important for your mental and physical health. As a man, of course, is just to simply move. That's one of the big goals of Movember because it helps in so many ways. But this year, Dan Lopez captained our team, and he came with some really cool stuff. We did a chili contest, which was all virtual. It was done in a very similar setting. We did it on YouTube and broadcast it out to whoever would join us. We had Stennies jump in, and John Lutz has a great connection with Stennies, and other guys do too. Obviously, I think Ryan, has done some stuff with them. But our partners that will help us in any way. Crafty Cow in the past. We've done some stuff with New Belgium and other beers and other friends, and it's really about building community. And we get great new ideas every year. So the chili contest was one this year. Another one that we had, which I was thrilled about, was a virtual trivia. So, we used to go to Brass Tap, and it was awesome because we'd have all these people there. I grabbed the mic for 5 minutes. I'd talk about men's health with Nick Marking. And then, all that's kind of gone away this year, right? So got to get creative. We did everything online. We did a virtual trivia. We raised, another $600-700 that way just on entries, and throw $50 more at it, and we'll give you some 5 bonus points. You can kind of, buy the championship and get your trophy. So, there's plenty of different ways. And if you go to Movember.com, us.movember.com, they have all kinds of creative ways to fundraise and ways to ask without being pushy. And I just use social media, Instagram and Facebook. I don't go around with my hat in my hand anymore. Take a little bit of a step back, but people know how important it is to me, and they really give a lot to kind of support myself, I think, and what this whole organization, this movement means for me and so many of these guys on this call.
Well, and you don't just end it in November. This is not done for you. This is a year-round effort, right?
Yeah, I mean, trying to just keep my life together. Yeah, absolutely. I think of the things that when you do Movember. Shave the date is the 1st of November, right? And people are like, well, cool, 30 days. And I'll call it Lent. I'll drink less. I'll give up something. I'll, eat healthier. Your health is year round, and that's all you got at the end of the day, I think. So when we're talking about prostate cancer, 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed in their lifetime. Testicular cancer is the cancer of the young males age 14 to 35. Neither one of these have to be a death sentence. The reason that they can be, though, is because people don't either, check or go to a doctor and get checked or realize these things soon enough, or they just kind of ignore them. Guys are bad about seeing doctors, even sometimes having primary care physicians, which, it's hard to imagine, you just wouldn't see a doctor. You're afraid of a needle or whatever, but it's so important to pay attention to that. And this year, more than any other time, men's mental health and suicide prevention. So I'll be very candid. It's been a tough year for everybody, of course, and for me. I'm in my basement. I've been in my basement, it feels like, for almost 7 or 8 months. I'm working down here. I play with the dog down here. I listen to my vinyls down here. But if I didn't have avenues and ways to reach out, whether it's through Zoom or Google or whatever, and just check in on a bro, I think I'd really go crazy. I think it'd be really tough. So yeah, year round. And if you're looking at a bro, that seems like he's a little bit down, he's not responding the way he was, he just seems a little out of sorts, he's not doing these kinds of things and building community and keeping that camaraderie going. We practice ALEC in Movember, and we really want to talk about, you need to ask, you need to listen, and really listen, not listen to say something, but hear what that bro is saying. If they're willing to open up, but it starts with asking that question.
Yeah.
And then encourage action, make sure you're doing something about it and really engage with them, and then check in. So, you can't just say, hey, you should, talk to a therapist or, go to church or whatever you do. That's great. But if you don't follow up and circle back, you might be leaving that guy hanging. Now he's opened himself up. He's made himself vulnerable. So you got to make sure, John Lutz, is your mustache okay this year? You okay? What's going on? I know Jake Hayes has been very cool about this. He's been very open about, some struggles that he's had. And I think that has a lot to do with it as far as, understanding that 3 out of 4 suicides are men, that 1 minute of every hour of every day on this globe, one man will take his own life. He will end it because he feels he doesn't have, the outlets, the avenues, or whatever it is to be able to deal. So,
Gee, I'm glad that you keep on using the term community. I got to be honest with you. My trade is bartending. My life is social. My profession, my enjoyment is being social constantly.
Wait, you?
Yeah.
You?
And I haven't been good about seeking out community. I was thoroughly selfishly looking forward to this evening. Knowing that I get to do my favorite thing is to have engagement with my friends, and the fact that hopefully we have tons of people joining us, at least like flies on the wall, watching us on Raise TV, is just a benefit. But I only recently have started finding my bros again, and the conversations, the mental healing that I've gotten to really open up to my friends has been outstanding. It's been really, really helpful, and so I'm just glad that you use that word community. It's not one that comes out of many men's mouths. Just like you said, seeking out doctors. I would be interested. You just put a thought in my head to ask every good friend of mine what the name of their primary care physician is. I would guess less than 50% of my friends have one. And that's just, I think, a cultural thing that we've been brought up with. But I'm gonna.
Or when's the last time they saw him? Yeah. When they might know who it is, but if it's been 5 years, like I'm 48, right? I'm in that prime area, that target range, and so I know my family health history. I know my numbers. I don't know my PSA score yet, and I haven't had a colonoscopy yet. So Ashley has just been on me. She's upstairs. I probably hear about it once a week. I got to schedule that. I know we need a vaccine for other things, and there's a lot going on in this world, but prostate cancer and testicular cancer and that stuff does not care. And a man my age, if I'm not checking that out, when my dad's had some polyps removed and stuff, and so you got to kind of know where you're at and really just be real with yourself and have your own kind of come to Movember, if you will, and just get real about where you're at and doing a little self check, and people get Dr. Jellyfinger, the Fletch thing. Look, man, it's not even done that way anymore, really. I mean, yeah, if you're an African American, in your mid to late 40s, higher rate of prostate cancer in those men. But the digital rectal exam, I of course have to do this. It's less and less a thing. It's really it's a urine test. They're going to get those PSA levels, and you're going to kind of know early on, and then they can do more exploratory if they have to. You got to know, and because all these things are so treatable, not preventable, of course, but 1 in 9. That number used to be 1 in 6, and now now that it's 1 in 9 that are diagnosed, we're doing more. Like Movember is actually making an impact. The global partnerships and the collaborations with these doctors and these research grants, where this $900 million has gone to, has really made a huge impact and a big dent. Outside of just awareness, but actually trying to find some cures.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
What are you drinking right now?
What do I got? I got the Christmas ale. I got some product placement behind me.
There we go.
If there's any beers that weren't in there, and I'm pretty sure, the Space Cloud, I already drank it. Sorry, Eric, man. I would have put the can up, but that was.
You're rocking the koozie though.
I love the New England IPAs for sure. So, I got that. There you go.
Nice.
And I just want to say a couple of things, if I could. I know we got to kind of get to some other bros here, but first of all, your mustache we're not all going to have a mustache that looks as awesome as Ryan Bennett's, right? Like, I think if you ever shaved your beard, Rob, I mean, God bless you, it would look so rad. It would look so cool, man. I mean, just to see that top stash on you, put some shades on. But whatever you grow, will save a bro. That's kind of our motto. We're having fun and doing good by it. We do things like this. We get out, we get active, we play fall golf, we get on a bike. I mean, November in Wisconsin's tough, as far as outdoor activity, but I got a little home gym set up, and I do just enough to, keep the Thanksgiving, pounds at bay and that kind of thing. But so please don't think that, you shave on the 30th and you go to Stag or you go to Nobleman, or it's a lot of our barber partners in the Milwaukee area that, I can't grow a mustache. She won't let me. Go to Movember.com. You can get a permission slip. where your partner can sign that says you're good to grow a mustache for 30 days. Because when they know what you're doing it for, and then you post these things on social media and you start, making your own doctor's appointments, it goes a long way. So before I go, if you have nothing else for me, I want to talk about how awesome Milwaukee did. I'm not the community ambassador anymore. That's Phil and Dan, but I just looked it up. We just topped 80,000. The goal was 70,000 this year. So that says a lot for, the kind of the throughput and some of the horsepower we put behind this with the beer friends, with 3 Sheeps. Holy crap, man. I mean, 15 grand from 3 Sheeps this year. But Milwaukee has raised more as a challenge network than Portland, Cincinnati, San Diego, the Twin Cities, San Jose, Phoenix, Baltimore, Detroit, St. Louis. Sorry, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Sacramento, Raleigh, Durham, and Charlotte. We're not the size of Dallas. We're not Houston. We're not LA. We're not New York. But, we do a pretty good job around here. So
nice. And you did address something that I need to talk about. I don't feel comfortable sometimes with you guys because I won't go down to the mustache. I apologize, but my well-being and my being welcomed home by my wife is important to me, and that's why the beard can't go. I
got you.
I appreciate you guys including me into the group. But Dave, thank you so much for joining us. You're not leaving us because we want you to continue drinking and talking with the buddies. But I am going to switch gears, talk about some of this beer that you and I are sharing right now with Mr. Lutz from Bell's. So, Dave, say goodbye. I'm going to see if I can navigate this thing.
One last thing I should say, I want to, any tuning in or a lot of our best fundraisers in the city, I keep talking about the bros, and you were talking about your face and what your wife would think of it. The Most Sisters are so critical. They're so important. What do? They get us, right, to go to the doctor. Yes. They might just get us to shave and that kind of thing too, but they can move and raise funds. They can have some solidarity and not shave their legs for a month. Whatever they want to do, man, they can be active participants. And again, they're some of our greatest fundraisers and our biggest advocates and partners. So Most Sistership and the sisterhood of Movember is as big of a deal as, whatever we're doing up here and, that kind of thing. So really appreciate their participation as well.
Love the message. Thank you, Dave. See you later.
Yes, sir. All right, guys.
Keep on drinking. Let's see here, Mr. Lutz. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm enjoying this delicious Bell's Christmas Ale.
I'm almost done with mine. So before we get into your Mo story, why don't you tell us a little bit about the beer we're drinking?
Sure. So we're kicking off with Bell's Christmas Ale. It's going to be that time of the season. St. Nick's right around the corner. You're looking at a 7.5% Scotch ale. A lot of times Christmas ales can be a little bit more floral and spicy and different things like that. We just take a simplistic take on it and just do a straightforward Scotch ale. Super malty, rich, roasty, toasty, as I like to say. So it's just super, super great. Great for a nice fall day when it's not super warm out there.
I love it. And I should preface in talking about, I did not pick the order of speakers and breweries represented based on any kind of empirical proper study of beer. This is just basically random. And so to any of our critical beer friends that are on the YouTube channel with us tonight, drink as you will. This is just taking it as it comes. But talking specifically about the Scotch Ale, John, and again, I don't want to get too much in the beer because I got a lot more I want to talk to you about, but not all Scotch ales are created equal, correct? This is not not to be confused with a wee heavy.
Correct.
Yeah. It hits the spot.
I mean,
go ahead.
Much like many American craft brewers, this is our American take on a Scotch ale. So, a little bit hoppier than some. Definitely for that American taste palate. But yeah, it's just something. It's a way to just enjoy the holidays, and that 7.5% really helps you deal with your in-laws.
You do the same. It's the same style every year, though, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, because you brought up the holidays, what? How does that affect your mental health now that are you not getting together with your family as much right now?
Yeah. So, fortunately enough, my bubble consists of my family right now.
Okay.
You can probably see the baby room and the mobile behind my head here. We had a baby. My wife had a baby not so long ago, so we need a little bit of help, especially in these trying times of trying to work from home and work. Still make sure that business happens out in the market and that there's fresh beer out in liquor stores and bars and everything else. But we have our my mother-in-law and my parents are nearby, local, and they've maintained some nice, healthy habits, and they help us out with childcare, so they're part of our bubble. So fortunately for us, being a small knit family, we're able to plow through with the holidays and have a good time. But definitely miss some of the beer friends and some of the other longtime brothers and sisters that I can't be with and share the holidays with. Or Thanksgiving was definitely a little bit of a different twist this year.
Agreed. How are you finding community?
It's good and it's bad, right? I think there's a lot of things that came out of 2020 that are good. It really is people finding a different way to be part of a community and different ways to communicate. And, especially when this whole thing started, we saw more people getting out and about and social distance through their neighborhood, taking walks in their neighborhood, and just really being part of their local community and just getting out there. And it was great.
We've actually started ding dong doorbell ditching friends and family with alcohol, and found that's a great way to reach out to your neighbors, especially when it gets colder. You don't see them while you're mowing the lawn or raking the leaves. So that's one way that we've been reaching out to folks. I'm lucky working at Ray's. I still get to see all of the friendly faces that we're talking to tonight, that you guys stop in. But it's nice to stretch my social circle a little bit beyond just my work family and acquaintances. So the beer scene has changed tremendously in the last 8 months. And John, you see a really, really big range of our market. What have you noticed the biggest differences right now in craft beer?
I mean, it's pretty apparent that, bars and restaurants are struggling. And if, the folks out there between their 6-pack, 12-pack case purchases at Ray's, if they want to, get some carry out food or something like that from some local restaurants or bars, it's people helping people, and they definitely need some support and help, just so that when things do go back to normal, we can have those watering holes and those community gathering places that we've had for all of our lives up until now. So it's really important to really support those and kind of keep that going. But the biggest thing that's changed is, people are kind of going back to a lot of the breweries that are represented here, and they're drinking what they know. They're drinking what they are certain that they're going to enjoy. Quality brands like Bell's, that's been around since 1985. The Sierras of this world, the local standouts like New Glarus and Three Sheeps and Third Space, and even up and comers Lion's Tail for those that are not around. I'm sure Eric will touch on that a little bit later when he speaks. But people are just going with kind of what they know and not taking as many chances. And it's been great because when you have a beer like Two Hearted Ale, that's a staple in a lot of people's fridge, it's it makes my job a little bit easier. So Thank you to all those supporters out there.
No, you make a really good point. The fact that most people get introduced to new products is in the setting of a bar, because you're only committed to one glass, maybe just even a sample. A little harder when you're committing to a 6-pack right off the bat. So that is an interesting point. Never thought about it that way. The amount of beer that's offered right now is just insane to me, though. And I will say, and I want to talk to Eric about this more, but even you guys that are a little bit more, have been around for a while, we're seeing more of your portfolio offered on the shelves than ever before. And I would assume it's coming a little bit from the fact that there aren't bars and restaurants offering the beers, so you got to find another home for them.
Yeah, I think there's a few more experimental products that maybe we were only going to see a couple 6 barrels or quarter barrels of a handful of draft handles that are now being put into package just because gotta kind of fish where the fish are, as they say, and get the beer to the people the best we know how. And right now that's through wonderful liquor stores like yours.
Well, thank you. And let's talk about your Mo story. You've been involved with this group. And first of all, just so everybody kind of understands this, without John participating, we probably wouldn't have had this party tonight. John came to us, gathered us, and really was the building block for our little community getting together and putting together this fundraiser through Raise. If you haven't yet, there are still 6-packs to be sold, still raising money for Movember. $10 of every 6-packs go into the Movember movement. And John, tell us your story about it.
Sure. Hold on. All right, I'm moving on to the Sierra celebration because it's time to celebrate. But
I kind of started.
Long story short, so Dave kind of mentioned it earlier. We met a handful of years ago at a promo at Stubby's. Believe it or not, Dave, it was 9 years ago. So I've been a 9-year Mobro. It's a charity that I really appreciate heavily. It's one of those that, being a man myself, I want to support people and I want to do what I can for my community. And Movember has been a great outlet for that. And real quick side note, I want to say thank you to you guys for all the money that we've raised as a group. Dave mentioned the Milwaukee numbers. Right now, the Beer Friends group makes up 1/10 of that, and that is absolutely amazing. So to all the people that purchased 6-packs, wrote down their name on a mustache, or just donated, thank you so much. Every dollar helps make a huge difference. Really, it was just something that I kind of fell in love with supporting because I felt a close personal connection to the charity. And when you had a Movember ambassador like Dave Thorpe, who was my first introduction into this charity, it's hard to not just believe in his infectious love and devotion to this charity. And, just not only the men's cancer and prostate aspects of it, which are very near and dear to probably all of us, but especially us at Bell's, as well as, the ideals to, do self-checks if you can't go to a doctor, going to a doctor, just making sure that you're overall good health and that you're out exercising and making movements, for that Movember. And, it's kind of been touched on, the mustache is kind of a nice talking point or jump off point to have a conversation with folks. But, if you can't do one, when supporting and when fundraising online, there's other creative ways to do it. You can say, hey, I'm gonna do 25 push-ups a day, or I'm gonna run 20 miles during the month of Movember. And if you hit that goal, will you support me? There's different ways to really generate money and draw awareness and really make a difference for not only men now, but men in the future. Movember was definitely reinvigorated for me because I just had a little man myself, my little boy, and it's like I want the world to be better for him and for all the other young men out there. And one thing I always like to say is, we're going to talk a lot about men today, but women a lot of time are the rock of all of us men. And if we are not strong mentally, then we are not being supportive to them, and we ultimately stand in our own way. And to be mentally strong and to be mentally healthy and to have conversations makes us better human beings for the world. And the better we can be, the better the whole world can be, and that affects everybody. It's a huge domino effect.
No, it's a really, really wonderful point. I completely agree. It's not lost on me, having known you, John, so long, as one of my oldest craft beer friends, to know that I think that you're only involved because you need an excuse to grow a mustache. You've never been one to shy away from looking a little bit different, and you're doing quite wonderful at that. So,
Thank you.
It's been great, and I just want to really just express my appreciation to you in front of everybody that I do see you as a longtime friend in this little industry of ours, that you're a leader and you have always brought people together, and so just want to say thank you for that.
Yeah.
I do want to acknowledge real quick a couple people like Dale and Scott telling us how great and yummy the Scotch ale is.
Thank you.
And Bell's has always maintained excellence, and even still bringing us some traditional styles. And I just really hope, if you have any input with Larry, keep on bringing the classics. And
Yeah,
I know that you guys haven't stopped innovating. Official is definitely a beer that keeps in my fridge at home, but we still need good brown ales. Don't stop the brown ales.
Hey, it's best brown ale for a reason.
That is best brown ale. Any particular though part of Movember that speaks to you? To me, it's the mental health, and I know that's kind of been. I might be wrong in saying this, but a little bit more of a push in the last couple of years about the Movember movement in talking about men's mental health. But that's really what kind of really hit something home special to me. But I know testicular cancer, prostate cancer, there's all these different subject matters that we haven't talked about enough. What speaks to you exactly?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's multifolded. I think the mental thing, especially this year, is very much on the forefront, and I'm very happy that the Movember charity has taken that on head first and really delved into it. I think for me, one of the big things is just the communication and talking and making people aware that it's okay to talk about your feelings and not just be a stoic, classic man that just bottles things up until all of a sudden, you explode. I think it's huge to talk about things, and that's probably the thing that it ties into mental health. But that's the thing that really hits home with me, is that this charity offers a way for men to open up and talk about things.
Yeah, one of the things that's happening here with our little Rays family is hopefully our Mobro that's not sitting with us right now, but he's joining us from home, is Spencer. He's going to join our club in fatherhood, and it is always good to talk about things that are affecting you, like fathers to fathers, brothers to brothers, all the different kind of roles that we have as men in our community, in our lives, and kind of share our personal stories with each other. And I think that's really important. So, I hope that your child never sees your upper lip. I hope your son always sees that fur. Or as Thorpe used, I think it's lip luxury. Was that the term? Keep on rocking it. Don't stop it.
The Lord blessed me with some decent facial hair, so I have to keep it, entertaining.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm going to bid you adieu so we can talk a little bit about the beer you and I are drinking, but please go ahead.
One quick thing, I think I'd be remiss to say, not bring up, Bell's as a brewery during this whole thing. And why this even more so hits really home for our brewery is Larry Bell, our founder, a handful of years ago was diagnosed with prostate cancer. He luckily fought that and moved on and was in good health. And, this kind of comes back full circle back to the trying to at least, take care of yourself. And if you have the means to see a doctor, see a doctor. On the beginning of July, he actually went to see his doctor for his annual physical. They found some issues with his kidney. 10 days later, they were actually removing it. So he had a bout with kidney cancer earlier this year. And it was something that was that fast acting where, he went in 10 days later, he was under the knife. they were able to remove that, and everything is good now. He celebrated his many months of healthiness with a nice donation to a few different kidney charities and local hospitals. But it just really goes to show that with illness and things like that, you just never really know, and you can feel great, but you just don't know what's lurking behind the scenes. So make sure to take care of yourself. Drink beer heavily in moderation. Thank you all so much, and thanks, Rays, for putting this together.
Absolutely. Drink Wisconsin style. Bye, Johnny. Let's see if I can move on to the next here. Oh, shoot. There we go. Mr. Ryan Bennett.
Hello.
Oh, there you got that Sierra Nevada right there in front. Good placement. Welcome to the party, buddy.
Yeah, thanks. Good to be here.
Well, as already pointed out, John and I kind of skipped ahead. Now, it's not expected that everybody has to follow the Rays Mix six-pack for Movember, but some of us are, and we moved on to the celebration. And tell us a little bit about the beer.
Yeah, so Celebration, first brewed back in 1981. Obviously, this year we're celebrating our 40th anniversary. So Celebration was actually brewed to celebrate the first year of Sierra Nevada being in business, celebrating its first successful year. Ken brewed it as a beer for the employees to have a big party. Nice West Coast style IPA, Centennial, Cascade, just nice malty backbone to it, 6.8%. It's obviously a huge fan favorite, one of the best selling seasonals, period. One of our best selling seasonals. So yeah, it's just a fantastic beer, and cheers to the Celebration.
Dude, cheers. It is great actually jumping from the Scotch ale.
It's just a straight up IPA.
But it's not straight up. I mean, fresh hop. Fresh
hop. Yeah. But it's not, there's no adjuncts or anything like that to make it like a Christmas beer or any, nutmeg or anything crazy added to it. So
is it considered wet hop?
It's not wet hop. It's a fresh hop. So the hops are dried and then put into the beer, into the kettles about 48 hours after harvest. So we do a wet hop IPA. It's called Northern Hemisphere. That is a wet hop IPA where we don't dry the hops. It goes right into the brew kettle, right from the farm.
In Wisconsin, are we drinking this from Chico or from North Carolina?
We're drinking a little bit of both. We sell so much of it. The first batch of Celebration that we get a whole truckload. Goes right from Chico right to the distributor here at Beechwood, and it's full of Celebration. Okay. So that first batch is usually Chico, and then the second run that we normally get comes from Mills River to help fill in the backlog of beer.
Nice. So how long have you been affiliated with the Milwaukee Beer Friends, Mo Bros?
I want to say about 3 years now. I've been thinking back 3 or 4 years. I think I had a conversation with John one time. He was like, "Hey, are you interested in doing this?" And he didn't have to sell it to me. I was like, "This is fantastic, super important to be involved, not only for your mental health, but your physical health as well, and to be part of the brotherhood." It's been pretty great with a good group of guys, and it's really important for people to talk about their physical and mental health, which like John said, guys, we don't do that really well. So
no,
it's a nice group of people to do that with.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not one of those things that we were always taught very well as young men, and now it's our chance to change the trend. Now, I know, Ryan, I've known you for a while, since you moved to this area, and movement is very important in your life. Big biker.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And how have you been keeping moving during the pandemic?
Riding, just getting on the bike, and just and I've got a couple of dogs here. I've got a new puppy here who's actually ripping something up behind me. I'll deal. But yeah, getting out. I taken for them for hikes. Seminary Woods, down at Warnemount, Seven Bridges areas, things like that. So just getting out. and being one with nature, either out on my own or on the bike, is where I find my solitude.
Nice, dude. Yeah, obviously multiple benefits from that kind of lifestyle. I didn't get to thank Dave and John earlier. They do a lot of posts on social media, as well as all of our mutual friend Mike Matusik with the like push-up challenges and things like that. And I really appreciate that. That's actually motivating for me, and helped me start a plank challenge actually with my family. And do you kind of get involved in any of those kind of ideas?
I haven't lately. I'd like to. I know John hit me up with the push-up challenge. I unfortunately had suffered an injury to my arm, so I wasn't able to do any push-ups. But yeah, I'd like to do more stuff like that. I was used to do a little bit more running this year. I didn't do as much running as I like to, but would definitely want to do some more of the 5Ks and things like that, just to get out and again find some different ways of being active. So,
Nice.
and I can't beat Lutz in his fabulous form and his push-ups. So
I don't know, man. That John does okay, but I wish Mike Matusik was here to kind of that dude can he'd do a push up.
yeah,
Not bad for a beer guy / stay at home dad.
a hell of a
But-
chef too.
A hell of a chef. Yeah. Very, and social media is what it is, but I think a lot of that, I do find a lot of positives. It's been hard in a political season, things like that, to keep attention to it and not get frustrated. But I have found a lot of motivating things and community in that, and keeping up with you guys and other friends. So I would suggest keep the positive messages going and sharing. Well, what else are you up to right now in Sierra Nevada world?
Well, with Sierra,
Uh-oh.
kombucha. So we're doing the Strange Beast Heart kombuchas now. We just brought those out earlier this year. We've got 3 flavors out: ginger lemon hibiscus, acai berry, and a blood orange and hops. So those have been doing really well. We're looking to expand the offerings next year. And just kind of wrapping up the year with it's always nice to end with celebration on a high note there. So
Nice. What's the pup? What kind of breed you got there?
this is Bear. He's a German Shorthair.
Oh, buddy.
Got to play a little fetch here. This is I can't not have a Zoom meeting or any kind of meeting without throwing the ball. So he was asleep before we all started this. So now he's wide awake and it's fetch time. So
Dude, your fur family's important, man.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've got another 8-year-old German Shorthair as well. He's downstairs asleep. So, but they get along really well, which is always good to have a couple dogs that get along and keep you on your toes, keep you honest, get you up at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Now, Ryan, I met you beyond just being a Sierra Nevada rep, hanging out at Sugar Maple. Where are you hanging out when you can't be out? Now, we can't be in the bars and restaurants like we always were. What are you doing?
Just trying to, be socially distant, responsible. During the day, it's grabbing lunch at an account. If it's got enough room or it's sanitary and they've got the proper precautions up. But really, other than that, I'm just kind of become a hermit a little bit.
Yeah.
Just keeping safe but supporting where I can. Sitting on patios during the warmer times. So making sure we help these accounts out, get through all this, and kind of see them on the other side of this. So
Yeah. I'm actually surprised how easily the hermit lifestyles, come along for me. But where are you going out to eat that's you're comfortable and you're safe?
Well, I just actually La Masa. I had some La Masa today for lunch.
Nice.
Had a nice barriers set up. They had some celebration on tap today, so I was able to enjoy a celebration and have some empanadas. So Dan had their little outdoor patio going a little bit early on this year. So love me some Dan. So we had a great event there and sat out on the patio. And are you okay there, bud? All right.
Dude, it's awesome. Well, that's good to hear. I can't say that I've gotten around town as much, so it's nice to hear that people are doing it right.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, any other messages you want to share with us from either your experiences with Movember or with Sierra Nevada?
Just let's all stay focused, stay healthy. Check, like John says, check in on one another. We've got to during these hard times, we got to support one another in ways that sometimes it's making a phone call to somebody and seeing how they're doing, going from there. So. And Sierra, it's celebrating our 40th anniversary, so just continue to brew some fantastic beers and hopefully enjoy them all in a bar very soon.
Awesome, Ryan. Thank you so much for hanging with us, and I'm gonna let's see. Still getting clunky with this, so appreciate your patience here, guys. Let's go next with Nick in third space being represented.
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Clear, loud and clear from where all the magic happens there.
Love it. Yeah. Rob, it's great to see your full face. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Actually, I'm so glad. It's really funny you said that because I got really paranoid being in the store all day. I'm wearing my mask. At Ray's, we always have our masks on as we're told to do.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had to brush out the beard. This mask beard. It's one thing that we haven't talked about. I'll have to share some stories about grooming the beard with Jordan later. But yeah, it is nice. We don't get to see each other's smiling faces enough.
No, we don't. We smile with our eyes these days, right?
Yeah. So, well, I'm just about to finish my celebration from Sierra Nevada. But I am, like I said, following the 6-pack. We're going next with our Cranberry Goes.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
We did our Cranberry Goes in the mix pack this year for the very first year. But it's a fun seasonal we do. So cranberry, Wisconsin's native fruits lends a really nice kind of fruity tartness to this beer. It ends with a touch of salt, touch of salinity, which is as goes as should. But it's I love this beer because when it comes to a sour, it's super approachable. It's not aggressively acidic. It's a beer you can have multiple of without getting wrecking your teeth and tearing up your enamel, right? But it's just it's a beautiful color, and I got it in my glass. It's it's just a fun beer, and it's been doing really well for us. We actually put it in 12 packs this year, and they've been flying off the shelves as most 12 packs have been in big packs from all these great breweries that have been moving quite well.
I actually asked John earlier about what he's noticed changed in the beer community in the market. What I've noticed about my personal beer consumption is I still am buying singles and 6-packs from time to time, 4-packs when it's appropriate, but I've advanced to 12-packs and buying in quantity. We do have to keep on reminding each other that alcohol brings us together, but also done in moderation is always appropriate.
Right.
But I really have the fact that you guys, the Happy Place 12-pack is definitely one of the ones that's a mainstay in my household. So thank you for that.
Well, always appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. We put a few of those down throughout this time.
Yeah. Well, what's making your Happy Place right now in the third space world?
Yeah. It's been this whole 10 months. It's been long, but we found our avenues to have some fun. We actually been taking our dog. So I have a 5-year-old golden. My mother-in-law has a 7-year-old golden. We've taken them up to Colorandre, throughout the entire summer, and hit up 3 Sheeps about 100 times this summer. So shout out to Jordan, who will be on later, but drank a whole lot of Fresh Coast this summer. And that was, that was our happy place. That was our third space, just being outside and enjoying because we had a pretty nice summer. Not gonna lie, the weather was pretty nice, so it was good just getting out with the dogs. Yeah, and just hiking on those trails at Growler Gallery and just being outside pretty much as much as we could. And now we're going to be a little more indoors, which is all right. We'll hunker down and drink some good beers, and then we'll get through this.
Nice, yeah, and you bring up a good point. We don't appreciate enough the wonderful outdoor experiences we have here in Wisconsin, hiking and biking, whatnot. I'm going to try to find some winter challenges to keep outside and not let the winter doldrums catch up with me this year. Did a very cold bonfire last night for dinner.
Oh yeah.
Cooked over the fire in the backyard, and that was awesome. And
nice.
I don't know. I mean, if anybody wants to start a snowshoe company, maybe we should do that.
We've been looking into that, the Urban Ecology Center and whatnot. I actually just got a whole bunch of new snowboard gear, and it's been a long time coming. I've had my same board since like middle school, so I thought it was time. So hopefully spend a little time on the slopes. Hopefully get up to the UP and at least the Granite Peak and whatnot. So definitely that'll be a happy place for me this winter as well.
Dude, that's awesome. Let's see. We got Jeff and Mary Growler Andre's my hometown stopping ground, making comments on there.
Love it. It's so close, it's only like 45 minutes away from where I'm at in Tosa. So, it was awesome. Yeah.
It's great. It's right there. You can get off work and be there, in no time. Kind of following the comments on the YouTube channel. Dale Peterson not only feels our pain when it comes to the mask beard, but also has had a very innovative idea that he probably should have kept to himself. The Happy Place 99 pack.
Yeah. Oh man, it's coming. It's in the works. We were very fortunate here at Third Space throughout this that how well that brand and a lot of our other brands have been doing. And if we could have put that beer into a 50 pack, I think it would have moved. But it's coming. It's in the works.
Nice. How long have you been involved with the Milwaukee Beer Friends? The
yeah, so I've got involved kind of almost probably a year after I started selling beer. So I'm 3 years in. John, reached out, and I was absolutely on board. Again, like a lot of the other guys have been saying, it's something that's close. On this planet has been affected by some sort of cancer, mental health, and whatnot. So it was definitely something that I believed in, something I wanted to be a part of, and I'm in a platform where I can have an effect. I can make a change. I can raise some money, right? I can work and do some fun events, pre-COVID, and raise some money. So it was something that I absolutely wanted to be a part of, and it's been an awesome 3 years. This group of guys is pretty incredible. It's a fun group. It's a rowdy group, but we have a lot of fun, but we do it for a lot of good reasons. And talking about mental health, this is something we miss, right? I think we all miss actually getting together. I mean, we threw some awesome events at Vanguard, at Merriman Social. We had a huge turnout for a silent auction last year. So at least doing this virtually, seeing your faces is really good. It helps your mental health throughout this long period of time, right?
Well, you're totally right. And actually, I want to point out something. This is a good opportunity to share with our craft beer community out there. These guys are all representing 6 different breweries, but they're all very, very good friends. And I can speak from experience when telling you the competition is absolutely friendly with these guys. What you're seeing here tonight, everybody, is a very genuine relationship. And this is part of the community we talk about. Again, just want to say I'm lucky. I get to see every single one of these guys stop in from time to time to raise. And thankfully, it hasn't been 8 months since I've gotten to see at least people briefly in the store. So
for sure.
It's great. It's awesome, and I really appreciate getting to share this time with you.
Yeah.
What else are you guys doing Third Space as far as helping to make your community better?
Yeah, I think at the core of our company, community is always been at the forefront. The whole idea behind Third Space is you have your home, you have your work, you need a third space. That could be our brewery, that could be Ray's, that could be your basement, wherever that may be. So as a company, even before Third Space began, Kevin and Andy, were very involved with a YMCA camp, and that was always their kind of third space and sense of community and youth development and things like that. But throughout this pandemic, we've tried to help as much as we can. We took part in the Black is Beautiful collaboration, and the it's the All Together collaboration as well to help the hospitality industry. And right now, we actually, with participating accounts, we are donating $10 per every half barrel of beer sold to the MKE IRC, which is the their local organization that essentially gives micro grants to independent restaurants to kind of help keep the lights on and help pay their staff. As well as we're working with the U.S. Bartenders Guild to get checks directly to bartenders that are out of work and things like that. So we're trying to do as much as we can. So I personally and as the brew, we've worked with Movember, so we're just trying to do as much as we can and help as many people as possible. In the place that we're in.
That's incredible. That's really, really awesome. Speaking as a bartender first and foremost, that's. It's amazing, and it's been hard. I mean, Dave mentioned it before. It's probably, as I said before, the mental health aspect of the Movember movement's been what gravitates to me most, and this year has probably been as challenging as ever. But
for sure,
checking in with everybody is the right thing to do as often as you can do. And sometimes
Absolutely.
It takes effort. It takes effort to get together and do these things.
For sure.
I'll be honest with you. Again, as I said before, this is my very first Zoom meeting or meetup or whatever you want to call it in the last 8 months. And I know that's unusual. So I appreciate you guys doing this because I know some of you for your jobs have to do this way too much. But it's important. I mean, play a game with your friends and your family if you can't see them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Give someone a call, drink a beer together, virtually. Me and my family, we've been, taking it quite seriously, and a lot of bonfires, a lot of socially distant bonfires, and, just having fun, in different ways, and just staying creative and, keeping your spirits up, your mental health up. Cause, cause it's been a tough 10 months. But we're doing what we can.
Give us the profile for a second there, Nick.
This is about 8-9 months in the making. I grew out a pretty ridiculous COVID beard.
No, not the beard. The curly back there.
The locks. Yeah, no, that's about 9-10 months as well.
This is so inappropriate.
Andy, I'm just letting it ride. We'll see what happens come spring.
We need vaccines and haircuts to get Third Space a little more professional. Jeez.
I know. I feel terrible. I've been going to the same gal that cut my hair for like 5 years, and now I kind of just, I haven't seen her in forever. I should probably reach out and, give her a nice little tip, a little Christmas tip.
Well, anything new on the horizon for you as far as like how are you going to attack this winter?
A lot of beer in moderation, being responsible. But no, just staying close with my family here. Like I said, getting out. Like I said, I like to snowboard, so I'm gonna try and plan a couple fun little mini road trips. Get up to Granite Peak, maybe the UP, and hit the slopes. But just having fun, drink some fun beer, and get through this winter.
Well, hey, I just want to address with you one of our bros that's about to come up here, Eric from Lion's Tail, asking any thoughts on the mimosa version of a Fjord Explorer. or maybe
he's brought
Ford Bronco.
He's yes, we brought that up before. We'll see what happens. We'll see. I'll throw that into the pile. We'll see if Andy and Kevin go for it. But that beer does work pretty dang well with some OJ. Happy Place with some orange juice is not too bad either. Happy Moses are pretty dang good. But actually, Frog Vice, our fig raspberry orange and ginger kettle sour with orange juice. That's nice.
I think you're missing the point. I think it's more about the naming than the actual taste.
I think so.
And I think that you guys of any brewery aren't afraid to skirt the, jog the line between cease and desist orders when it comes to naming beer, so.
Yeah, Fjord Explorer, Baby Yo. We got pretty close with some, but these are all like one-off beers. So, if we get shut down, well, that's all right.
No, actually, there's always like a learning moment whenever I've done these kind of beer events, and getting to talk to Andy about the naming of beers was actually fascinating and was very educational. And I think we were talking about some of the Seinfeld ties with the beers and learning that it's just, it's completely kosher and, it works. So
yeah, and it's a little bit of mayhem, right? All these guys could probably attest to it. There's no real rhyme or reason a lot of times. You're just trying to figure out a name that works, and hopefully it's funny, and hopefully it catches on.
Yeah. Dude, the Baby O, that was really good, by the way. So definitely enjoyed that.
I loved how that beer turned out. Yeah.
Well, do you want to give us any parting messages before I kick you out of here?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Just reiterating what a lot of guys, have said and what Movember's about. Reach out to a friend, make sure everyone's doing all right through all this. Friends, family, everyone and yeah, let's get through this. Let's have some fun. Let's drink some beer, and I'm excited to see what else these other guys tonight have to say.
Well, I assume because the beers keep on flowing that it's only going to become more and more interesting in the conversation. So,
it's gonna be good.
God only help us when we get to our third space partner at the very end. Nick, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And
thanks for putting this together. No.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Definitely motivated by Lutz and executed by the team. So thanks, dude.
Yeah. And real quick, because I don't think a lot of these guys know, but Rob was my bartender the night I met my wife at the show.
That's awesome.
I wanted everyone to know that. So
that was awesome. That was awesome. It's definitely a connection. To share with beyond the guys on the call, but everybody on the YouTube station, like personal stories with each one of the bros in the community tonight, and that's one of my favorite, obviously.
That was pre-third space. Yeah.
That was pre-third space, pre-race for me. As a bartender, one of the greatest things you can say is get a couple of future marriages under your belt, getting to connect people. So thank you.
Absolutely.
For sharing.
Yeah. Always a fun one. Well, cheers, Rob. Have a good one.
Bye. See you later, Nick. Okay, well, we got Eric. How are you, man?
What's going on, Rob?
I'm happy, dude. Happy to have you here.
I'm a little torn, man. I gotta pull one out for yesterday. I mean, I know you took it on the chin yesterday too, so.
Oh, so as said, personal connections with everybody here. I'm not ashamed to say, and screw Jordan and John Lutz earlier on, but Manchester United fans right here together.
Yep, for sure.
Whatever. They took a tough one against PSG. We're still playing Champions League, so
yep,
we're still looking good.
Still should make it through.
Did you? Are you watching all the Champions League games?
I tried to. I was in market yesterday, so I didn't really get a chance to watch it.
Yeah, I'm too cheap. Like, there's just too many things you have to download to keep up with European soccer now. So
between Peacock and CBS All Access and then NBCSN, it's getting like cable.
Yeah. So I have some. We have some soccer friends here at Rays that they're keeping me up to speed on how to use Reddit to find things too. But But yes, no, whatever. I mean, nobody's watching this. Don't worry. But no, yeah, it was a tough one, but I'm still optimistic. Manchester United's definitely been one of the brighter points of my 2020. So,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna slam this while you start introducing what I'm about to open.
I kind of just finished what you're about to open. So, we put Space Cloud in the pack this year. It's a New England style IPA. It's packed with Galaxy hops. It's got a little bit of a drier finish than most New England, so it's got a little bit of that West Coast aspect to it. Real tropical notes on the nose. Super easy drinking. It's by far my favorite of the Cloud series.
Really, dude, I really enjoyed Z Cloud. That was a hit for me.
Z's great. The Galaxy, man. Like every time there's a Galaxy hop beer, I gotta try it.
I am noticing there's more Galaxy in the market right now than ever. Is there a Galaxy hop salesman that's making money right now?
There's a lot of Galaxy hop salesmen that are making money right now because that ain't cheap.
The Oceanic hops definitely the price is right.
I'm gonna throw a little screwball here though. I'm gonna crack open a deserted. And get that label that label nice and centered with the palm tree and the little bit of fudge on that sundae there.
Oh, that's quite a label art there. That's nice.
Yeah.
Tell us about this beer that you're opening.
So this beer is a collaboration between Lionstail and Three Sheeps. It's the collaboration we did for Movember. Ever since I started at Lionstail 3 years ago, with Movember being near and dear to us, we've wanted to do a collaboration every year. The first 2 years we did the Stash of the Nuts series with Explorium out of Greendale. And this year we reached out to Grant and Jordan and the guys over at Three Sheeps and got ahead of the game and decided to make Deserted a nice little Turtle Sunday Imperial Pastry Stout.
Dang. Did that actually hit the stores? Where do we find that?
I did hit the stores. We partnered with Three Sheeps, and Three Sheeps partnered with their distro partner Beechwood, and we got it into the stores. The beer itself raised over $16,000 this year for Movember, so it was awesome.
Nice.
There might be some still left at raise. I don't know.
I gotta look down there. I'm not positive. I'm not positive. I'll check in with you guys right after this. So you have established. We talked about it earlier. You've been doing this for what, 10 years? The Movember.
Yeah, 10 years. 10 years of Mobro. Unfortunately, the reason I did it 10 years ago, I was working at Direct Supply with Dave Thorpe. He was a big part of Movember. And that summer, my wife, at the time, my fiance's father, got diagnosed with prostate cancer, mainly because he didn't want to go to the doctor and get checked out. So, I mean, if I can tell you guys one thing out of all of this, go get checked out. You know, it doesn't take long. Dr. Jellyfinger's your friend. He'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, everybody's got a personal story, and it's meaningful and it's important to share. So, thanks for sharing that.
And it's tough to share, but at the same time, you know, like, he fought it for a good 6 years. He's since passed on, and this is just kind of my way of showing tribute to him and everybody else who's going through it. I know there's been a few people involved with Lionstail that's gone through it. Lionstail's a family business. If you don't really know, like, my wife is my owner's sister, so he's my brother-in-law. It's just super important for us to, like, do something for this charity.
And I'm really glad that you guys are all using your breweries as a platform to reach out and help beyond just getting beer out in the community, but actually getting messages of positivity out in the community. Now, Lion's Tail is still rather new to people. I am actually going to drop a personal story. Just was reached out to by Tyler Moss from Milwaukee Record and a Nino native, and was so happy when he stopped by Ray's the other day to get a little bit of his hometown love and buy some Nina beer. Nina's kind of popping right now for craft beer, actually. There's some things going on.
It's getting there. I mean, we're making waves where we can. To kind of touch on what you touched on earlier, we got a canning line right in time. We got our canning line in November of last year, so just a little over a year ago, and it's been a godsend.
Nice. Lionstail's been around for
5 years. We just celebrated 5 years in November.
And you guys started doing wide distro when?
I'm sorry, what?
When did you start hitting full distro?
I mean, we've kind of slowly expanded distro the last 2 to 3 years. We like to, when we distro to a new account, we like to be able to serve that new account multiple times and not be like, oh, hey, sorry, we don't have beer for you that second time you go to order. So If we're not in your favorite liquor store, reach out to us at info@lionstill.com. We're more than happy to reach out to them. Sorry for the plug there, but
No, it's actually so important. I think that you guys done it well. I've been in it long enough to see breweries that try to make a splash and then you just don't see them again, or they overextend themselves and kind of screw up. And that's it. I think that Lionstail has been doing it responsibly, keeping their name out there. I mean, I feel like for most of us, we've known and enjoyed your beer forever. I remember one of the first ones I've had was at actually the very first Third Space IPA Fest. That was huge for you guys, but it's awesome to know that Lionstail is still new and people are just still discovering it for the first time today. So, dude, keep it up. You guys you're killing it.
Appreciate it. To kind of answer a couple questions, that looks like one, JK asked if Bourbon Trail is still available at Lionstail. We released 6 different barrel-aged beers, and 4 of those 6 are still left in a limited quantity. So if you're willing to drive up and get them from Milwaukee, you can. We have a curbside pickup, so you can order them before you leave Milwaukee and guarantee that they're there. So
that's awesome. And what else do we have to do other than do like curbside delivery hours, a ways away from home? I just following the feed as well. Nick, unfortunately you're right. Baby Yo's out here. Love the tap room. Jeff and Marie, love the tap room at Lionstail.
Thanks, Jeff and Marie. Appreciate it.
Is the tap room open right now?
The tap room is not open. We're open for outdoor consumption and to-go beer only. We have not been open since COVID hit. Our community has come out and supported us like crazy, and we've been able to make it through distro and to-go sales. So we're very thankful for that, trying to keep as safe as possible. You're welcome to come into the tap room and order to-go beer or a beer for outside, but we just ask that you wear a mask.
So you're a good example. Your brewery is of, there's silver linings throughout the pandemic. And to be able to get not only Lionstail on the regular at Ray's, but, I mean, how many brands do we have now? I mean, you guys have opened up the full portfolio to the market.
I think you have 8 to 10 brands right now, I want to say.
It's awesome.
You guys have been a great supporter of the brand, and we really appreciate it. Spencer and you over at the Growler Gallery have just been big supporters of Lionstail, so we appreciate it. The customers at Ray's have come out and shown, because I mean we're consistently doing reorders every couple weeks.
Yeah. Well, let's get back into Movember. I mean, you talked about how you got into it. What are you doing with Movember now? Because I feel like you had a big success this past month in fundraising.
Well, I mean, in the past, like these guys said, we've been able to go out and do events. We've been able to do events at World of Beer. We've been able to do events over at 3 Cellars in Menominee Falls. I mean,
that's awesome.
All these local businesses have been huge supporters of Movember and Lionstail, and we're not able to do those events this year. So I kind of got creative with it, and I did a whiskey raffle. If you donated to the Lions sale, you got it, or if you donated to the page, you got entered in the whiskey raffle, and for every amount you donated, you got a certain amount of tickets, and we were able to raise $5,540 this year, which was awesome.
So what were you raffling?
We raffled a bottle of Blanton's, a 2018 bottle of Midwinter's Night Dram, a Eagle Rare store pick from Cellars and Wine and Spirits up here in Neenah, Maker's Mark limited edition, and Sazerac Rye.
Nice. That's awesome.
So,
and do you? I see we got the full. I mean, I think you're the only one. I'm looking at all of our friends. You're the only one doing the full Manchu.
Yeah. I mean, like, what better reason to channel your inner Clue Haywood from Major League? The guy led most defensive categories, including nose hairs. So, might as well grow the Pete Vukovich. Might as well grow the Pete Vukovich out and show a little tribute.
Well, anything else as far as what's going on? Like, how the brewery's moving forward?
We just actually added 3 new tanks. We expanded our capacity. We're going from 1,000 barrels to 2,000 barrels. Things are going well. We can't complain. We appreciate the community that's come out and supported from all the way from Milwaukee to Madison to the Fox Valley and Stevens Point. I mean, we're just so appreciative of the people that came out and supported a small business in a pandemic. And we can't say thank you enough.
Have you continued to see growth throughout this period of time?
Here and there, yeah. I mean, just like anybody else, we're trying to make do with what we can, but we're still trying to grow where we can and expanding markets when we have beer to expand it to. So, Rays has been a huge supporter, and we appreciate Rays for that, and all the customers of Rays who came out and bought a 4-pack of Juice Cloud or Charged or any one of the Kula or Orange Riot or any of that stuff. If you haven't tried the Charge series yet, that's my favorite beer we make. We've done it. It's a pale ale with a hint of fruit. So no matter what fruit you get, you're not getting a fruit beer. You're getting mostly a beer.
Nice. Any collaborations coming up?
Sorry, none that have been confirmed yet. We're working on a couple. We just released our most recent collaboration with 608 and Bitter Cube out of Milwaukee. It was a tap room only. It's a barrel-aged old ale. It was aged in 4 Roses barrels with the mash from an orange bitters from Bitter Cube. So it's called the Manhattan Project. It tastes like a Manhattan without the vermouth.
I like vermouth, but okay, that's awesome. No,
Well,
that's
throw a little bit in there when you pour it.
I might. No, it's great, and I'm so glad that you guys are doing it. I'm so glad Three Sheeps. I'm impressed. I don't think that 5 years ago Wisconsin breweries were collaborating at all, and now there's such a community amongst all the Wisconsin breweries doing this and teaming up. And actually, I love the fact that you're doing something outside of the brewery industry, but hooking up with the guys Bitter Cube that are right down the street from us here in the Milwaukee area. So that's great.
Yeah, we wanted to brew a Manhattan beer, and we knew we were going to barrel age it and wanted to make it more Manhattan-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And we reached out to those guys over at Bitter Cube, and they were all about it. And one Friday we came down, we delivered to Milwaukee, we picked up their mash, drove it back up, and put it straight in the barrels.
That's awesome. Well, anything else you want to fit in before I'm going to see if JK is still sober enough to speak?
Well, I think the most important thing I can say is just go out there and get checked. I know it's not convenient. I know you don't want to go to the doctor or you're scared to talk about anything. Just literally go out there, get checked, and your loved ones are going to thank you for it.
Dude, great. Thanks. I really appreciate joining us, Eric, and keep on hanging out and drinking some more with us. And
for sure. And go Red Devils.
Dude, please, we need it. We got a game in hand too, by the way. If we win that, we're going to be top four.
If we win that, we're in third.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about Red Devils. Okay, see you later. And cheers. Let's see here. Here's my buddy Jake. Hey. What's up, bud?
Hello?
How you doing?
Hello? I'm doing great, Rob. How are you? My Growler Gallery Guru.
Well, someday, hopefully again.
Yes, exactly. I look forward to it.
I do too. You as Thorpe and Lutz, you haven't lost that lip luxury, I see.
I did this today. So truth be told, I shaped this today. I had the very full, very strange patchy beard going on, but I had to switch until the full length mustache right now. So
nice. So I want to investigate a little bit about where you are right now, because I see that you're in specifically the New Glarus room of your home, because you've got New Glarus. You got some New Glarus items on the wall.
So yes, I am not working from home, but my wife is, and her home space is right behind me with her dual monitors. She means business. So
nice.
But yes, I have to have something New Glarus in this room, because I do take my Zoom calls like you had mentioned earlier. I do them from here. So
you're not working from home. You're on the street still. You're still like living that beer life.
The streets, yes, it's true. The
Rocking
mean streets of Milwaukee and beyond.
Rocking the Jeep.
Yes, 2021, brand new. You'll see it out there.
I mean, everybody realizes that. Like, is it the day you get hired, you get your own New Glarus Jeep, or what's the deal?
Now there's a little trial period in there, but
do you have to do a driver's test with Deb and Dan, or what's the deal?
No, but with how some of the guys drive at this company, we should. That's a true story.
Now, are you still going to the brewery on the regular, or no?
No, actually, we are not. We've done most everything virtually. I think the last time I was at the brewery was to help out on the packaging and the canning line in April. That's not true. I went to the brewery last month, but until then it was in April, and then last month, and then I'm actually going there tomorrow. But we are in a very large room with masks, with doors open, and we're physically distant. So it's definitely weird, but everyone is adapting the best way we can. So yeah, basically.
Well, and I mean, I know that the Carries run it. It's a family run business, and you got to take care of your family. So that's awesome.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about, before we move on to any kind of pinup calendars that John Lutz is asking us to look at. Let's talk about the beer. Let's talk about the beer you're offering us tonight.
I originally drank my Fat Squirrel at the very beginning of this video, so that's long gone. But I do have. I do have the canned version. Yes. Fat Squirrel is now an every other year winter seasonal. We're sort of alternating that with Snowshoe Red Ale. But Fat Squirrel, pretty old school brand for us, American brown ale. We use 6 Wisconsin malts in this beverage and hops from Bavaria, Slovenia, and the Pacific Northwest. So sort of a sweet hazelnut flavor to that beer, and a winter staple for us. So
talk about one thing, because it's a question that I've noticed a couple times come up in the store at Ray's, is your schedule of seasonals.
So Fat Squirrel used to be a year-round beer, but we ended up changing that to a winter seasonal. But Snowshoe was so popular, we kind of wanted to give an every other year sort of vibe to those beers between Snowshoe and Fat Squirrel. It seems to work out for us pretty well, because whenever we take away one thing, people ask for it, and then when we bring it back, people ask for the other one. So I guess that's my best way I can tell you that.
No, that's good. It just I've had a couple customers, they reach out, they ask, like they're hoping they get to see it every year, and try to explain to them that there's a rotating calendar. So I see that was not a New Glarus product that you were putting to your lips.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had to drink something different. I am enjoying a celebration, something I love and look forward to every single year. I'll probably be done with this one before we're done talking, and I do have a specialty on deck that I would love to discuss when that time comes. So.
Dude, if you open up like a vintage R&D, I will be pissed.
I did not.
Okay.
But I could.
but I did not. Way to flex. That's awesome.
You know me.
So, talk about your Movember story.
This is actually my first year doing this. I sort of helped. Well, I didn't really help. I sort of latched on to John Lutz last year at that Merriment social event that Nick talked about before. But I mean, I've had some personal things in my life with, losing a best friend to suicide. My father having, precancerous polyps. So I thought, this year was, I had to get off my butt and actually do something. So this was a really good segue into actually helping raise awareness into men's health and to, instead of sitting around doing nothing, you got to not sit around and do nothing. I had to do something. So this was sort of the beginning journey for me to getting the awareness out with men's health and just to let people know that, we're all in the same boat together. No one's feeling great about anything. Reaching out and talking to your friends and your dudes and your Mo Bros. It's super important, especially right now, because you've heard it a million times, but we are literally all in this together. No one is thriving right now. Everyone is, even if you don't talk about it, everyone's kind of hurting. It's just the truth. So, I really just wish that everyone would just reach out to their loved ones, reach out to their family members, your friends, check in on them, just do the right thing. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you're helping yourself in doing it. When I'm checking in on friends or, trying to motivate my family to do a physical challenge, it also is motivating me to take care of myself. So I do appreciate that message.
Yeah.
So do you have anything you want to share with us over there? A calendar or something?
Oh, you want me to go in the calendar now? Yes.
Yeah.
So last year, a group of us through Direct Supply got together and they came up with a calendar of popular musical album covers. So like the calendar for Movember of 2021 is obviously a great representation of Queen. I believe is Dave Thorpe on this one? He is not. No. Some of his coworkers are. However, the main point is this calendar is still available. I will open up to the one that we did. But I'd just like to say, if you want to continually donate to the Movember cause, you can find any of our Mobro pages. We can put them up in the Gmail, the Google Meet links up there, or you can reach out to one of us personally if you know, or reach out to Ray's personally. We just ask that you do a suggested $15 donation to get one of these wonderful 2021 calendars. John Lutz, big fan of the Doobie Brothers, minute by minute, but now it's mustache by mustache. Little Ryan Bennett and Nick Cusatis action. You got a little John Lutz up there.
Oh boy,
Michael McDonald. So this is, what are we? We're December 2021. To save the best for last there. So
that's awesome.
And there's a bunch of really cool ones. Like my friend Shannon is David Bowie, which is awesome. So
that's really great.
Shout out. So
you can actually still get a calendar with your Mobro 6-pack at Ray's.
You guys still have them, right? Correct.
We still have only 3 cases left of the 6-packs, and each 6-pack comes with a bag of goodies, tchotchkes from each brewery, as well as one of the calendars, and $10 from that purchase goes to the movement. So it's great. You get to drink all these fine beers and give, but it's not going to last very long. It's a twofer.
It's a twofer.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I have a calendar myself, so
hang it proudly, sir.
I do. Well, what else is going on with you, man? Personally, like you got your little brood, and you're trying to keep active during out this period, right?
Say that one more time.
You got your family. You're trying to keep active. You're trying to keep outside, right, and keep healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a 4.5-year-old and a 1.5-year-old, so pretty much the two hardest ages to deal with this and during a pandemic, because the 4.5-year-old doesn't understand why she can't go to school, and the 1.5-year-old just wants to around like crazy. So much like Bennett was talking about, we do hikes on the weekends and we try to run them ragged so they can actually sleep.
Where are you hiking
at? You name it, we've been there. We've gone as far, we've been to West Bend, we've been to Sheboygan, we've been to, Delafield, we do Lapham Peak,
nice.
Scuppernong Trail. We do, I could go on forever, but they're at good ages so that they can walk on them by themselves, which is awesome. So, and plus obviously that makes me get out and, do a little bit of workout. So
yeah, no, good for you, bro. I mean, that's awesome. I'll honestly say from a personal side, my boys are much older. They're in high school, each of them. And, I'm thankful that I have children that can intellectualize this and we can talk about it. And I don't know what it'd be like to have, especially the 4.5, probably doesn't understand why she doesn't get to go to story time at the library or play in the playground like always got to. And, that'd be tough.
It's unfortunate, but I think when we can get through this, in a couple of months, hopefully, we'll have a new appreciation for the lives that we can lead as normal, because we live about a block and a half away from the 4K school she would have gone. So when we walk around the block, she sees the school that she was supposed to be going to. So it breaks my heart, but that's just what we have to deal with right now, and we'll get through it together. Like I said, we're all in the same boat. We're all trying to survive and thrive. So
what are the silver linings for you guys lately?
Family time, to be honest.
Yeah.
Would we be going on hikes as often as we are right now if this wasn't happening? Probably not. And
yeah.
That's maybe not the right way to look at it, but I hope that this brings us, closer together as a family, and it brings my Mo Bros closer together as well. Lutzy has stopped by the house distant a couple of times. I've seen Casadas a couple of times. So, we're still checking in with each other. We're still doing the things we normally would do. It's just different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. And like you said, hopefully you guys keep that habit going when you don't have to. That's awesome. I really do. I think that's great. And I'll say again, from a personal note, bartending is my forte, and not having bartended for the last 8 months has been tough. But at the same time, I've had dinner with my family for the first time every night, except for when I'm doing virtual Mobro meetups.
Same.
But it's been great and an absolute benefit from this time. So family's the best part of it.
For sure.
Jeff and Marie have been quite active on the YouTube comments, and they think the calendar's epic. So who did the calendar? Can you speak to that, or Dave's gone, unfortunately?
They have an advertising photography section or part
Direct
at
Supply?
Direct Supply. They're a big company. So I believe they had their in-house group shoot it. We shot it at their studio, and it's a huge room full of props and backdrops. It's super impressive, actually.
Nice.
All of these were done on site there. So yeah, maybe Lutzy knows more about than I do, but it's super impressive and heavily recommended. So
nice. Well, any parting comments you want to make from your vantage point in Movember, or otherwise New Glarus, and what's going on in the future?
Well, a couple of things. I just wanted to thank Lutzy for inviting me into the Mo Bro group, and same thing with Dave Thorpe, who was a great steward for the organization and the Milwaukee group in particular. So that's really great to see. Hopefully, I don't want to talk about vaccines or anything, but New Glarus has been closed for quite a long time. We miss having people come to the brewery on a weekend. We're used to seeing thousands of people come in on a Saturday, and we just don't have that right now. But if you want a day trip, I suggest coming to Greene County, Wisconsin. My next beer here is Hometown Blonde, which is available only in Greene County. I'm sorry, Milwaukee. But it's a brewery-only Pilsner, but you can find it at a lot of other Greene County places, especially in New Glarus in particular. Our award-winning Pilsner is available for you there to come by for a day trip or a weekend trip if you need to get out of the house. And then I guess the only other thing I'd say is, even though we're on to December and Movember is done, the work is not done when it comes to men's health. I mean, this can be a year-round thing that we do for each other. Just because, it's not November, it doesn't mean we can't continue to raise money and continue to raise awareness. I might have this mustache for the rest of my life. So I'm just going to throw that out there. I mean,
maybe
I think I can grow into this.
Maybe there's somebody else we need to speak to about that.
Yeah, she's not going to like to hear that. So if we're being honest, this is going to go probably within a week or so. But that facial hair can grow back. And we have a long, cold winter ahead of us. I look forward to getting outdoors. I normally wouldn't because it's winter, but I think these circumstances mean that we should all get outdoors and maybe do snowshoeing or cross-country skiing or something like that. So I don't know.
Well, the buffalo print and the lip warmer is going to help you out for that. That's great.
Yep.
I got to tell you, actually, real quick, I am missing my community, and I want to share this with the group that I spoke of earlier. I finally got to find my community again and really get to open up and hang out with some buddies. It's mostly through the curling club here in Wauwatosa, and my official curling uniform is my Stormy Cromer New Glarus branded, and it's actually, I think, kept me from getting concussed when I fall on the ice. So thank you.
From curling?
Yeah, it's a tough sport.
Are you playing full contact curling?
There's a lot of sweeping and a lot of it's tough. Yeah.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Well, thanks for joining us, and I'm glad you're in the group. But now I'm going to get you out because I want to see if Jordan Aberman's still standing up.
Can't wait. Thanks, Rob.
See you later. Well, Jordan.
Hello, Robert.
Now, I put you last because I thought you could probably handle your booze the best.
That was a fatal mistake.
What are you enjoying right now, my friend?
I've kind of gone off script here a little bit, and I have a bottle of New Glarus Apple Ale because I have so much respect for Jake as a person and the fruit beers that he so proudly represents.
Okay.
And I have bourbon. I have some.
What are you drinking?
Old Fitzgerald.
I do know that you're a fan of the classics. I like that. I appreciate that about you.
Mm-hmm. That's true, Rob. I consider myself a man with impeccable taste.
So, we'll get into your bourbon description later, but tell us a little bit about the beer.
Yeah, so the beer we have you're talking about the Movember pack, not apple ale, right? Tastes like apples, in case anyone's wondering. It's good if you like apples. So we have Bon Bon, which is our chocolate milk stout that we introduced last year for the first time. And we took a year off from doing seasonals at Three Sheeps. We were really into doing kind of experimental nitro beers, and there's not a lot of breweries that there's no technology you can go buy that will nitrogenate a bottle of beer. Not that I know of anyway. If you're a brewery, you kind of have to figure out how to do it. So it's one of those few areas that still kind of requires a lot of innovation and a lot of experimentation. And we figured out how to do it long before I came to Three Sheeps. And so we were doing those for a while, and we decided, you know what, let's take some time off. Let's kind of regroup on seasonals. Let's think about doing something different. And when Grant and I were talking about it, he was really hot on the idea of a chocolate milk stout. And I have to admit, I was kind of skeptical at first because I'm like, that's cool. That's fine. I don't know that I'm going to want to drink multiple chocolate milk stouts. But it turned out really, really good. It's the most kind of elaborate, complex malt bill we've ever made for a beer. So, or a sessionable milk stout, that's kind of an unusual thing to do. And it's not overly sweet or sugary. It's really silky, kind of a nice velvety texture. It's not nitrogenated. It's a CO2 based beer, but it kind of drinks like a nitro beer in the sense that it's got that creaminess to it. And it's just been a really big success for us. So we put it in the pack just because it seemed seasonally appropriate and it was kind of different than anything anyone else had in there. And That's Bonbon.
Well, and it's outstanding, and I really appreciate you choosing this one. I think you guys all did an outstanding job creating the 6-pack. But talking a little bit about Three Sheeps and the history of Three Sheeps, I mean, Cashmere Hammer for many was like, I think, what really like solidified your presence in our local market.
That's funny that you say that, because that was the Three Sheeps beer for me that I was served a Cashmere Hammer when I worked for a different brewery. I was in 10. I think I went to I think it wasn't Milwaukee Burger Company. I think it was a Mr. Brews. And I stopped in and I told the bartender, just like, hey, you know, I have to deal with beer all the time. I'm more interested in what you're excited about than what I want. So dealer's choice, give me what you want, what you're excited about. And she poured me this beer and it was beautiful. You know, it's cascading and nitro beer. Tried it. I'm like, wow, that's really good. What is that? And she's like, that's Three Sheeps Cashmere Hammer. And that was the first light bulb for me where I was like, wow, that's really different than anything I've had from an in-state brewer. And yeah, I love that beer too. And this time of year, that beer really takes off and becomes almost like our flagship beer for the winter period, which is kind of odd. I think this happens a lot with younger breweries. You know, there's 3 of us on here that represent with Nick at Third Space and Eric at Lion's Tail, kind of smaller, younger breweries. We've only been around since 2012, and we're the old guy in that bunch. And one of the things that's kind of interesting when you're younger is sometimes it's a crapshoot, like if you're going to have a flagship beer or not. You know, people they want to try different things that you make. I know Third Space has been super successful with Happy Place, and that beer is like a runaway freight train for them, and deservedly so. For us, it took a little while. Fresh Coast is our best-selling beer, and that's become our clear flagship. But it's interesting because in winter, like Cashmere really becomes 1A and 1B with Fresh Coast. And yeah, it's just that's an unusual beer. It's a nitro rye stout, and there's not a lot of places that have a beer like that, especially that bottle it, and certainly not in Wisconsin. So
yeah. It's funny that you say that, actually, now that I think of it, being a rye for you guys, as well as the going back to Nick and Third Space. I mean, Unite the Clans. I mean, another rye-based Scotch ale. It's incredible what bringing, as John said in talking about their Christmas ale and being a very American interpretation of it. It's great that you guys are doing you while doing classic styles.
We like to do ourselves. Or whatever you just
Yes, that's true. Are Grant on this, and James?
Beats me, man. Maybe. I hope so. I could use some points, I think, from them if they're, you know, rye is a northern grain. Like if you think about like Canadian whiskey, they use a lot of rye, and there's a lot of ryes that come out of Canada. And there's a lot of rye that's grown in like the upper Midwest, the Dakotas, things like that. So I think my understanding is like rye is more hardy than a lot of the other brewing grains you might use. So I think it's kind of cool when northern breweries use rye, just because it is closer to home. It's more like, I'm a romantic about beer. You said I drink the old styles. And so like, I like the idea that you brew beer that represents the place that you're from and uses ingredients that are from that place or representative of the place. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So you and I are very similar in this whole little Mobro group that we don't stash up. We go full.
Oh yeah, that's
full
right.
Beard.
That's my cat.
Oh, so where's your little kitty?
She just came through and meowed. I didn't know if you heard it or not. She'll probably jump up here at some point, and everyone will get a, you know, bird's eye view of the cat and at me.
How do you fit in this Mo group? How long have you been involved with them?
You know, okay, so that's a great question. So like, I thought it was fun. I kind of like the idea of shaving a mustache, and a couple of years ago, I don't know if I put a date on it, maybe 4 years ago or something like that. I came to Three Sheeps in May of 2018, and Grant was very involved. And Grant's the owner and kind of brewmaster at Three Sheeps. And, you know, that was a nice like kind of meshing of interests, because even though I didn't mow this year or last year because I got married and signed my life away to this woman who is she's great, but I'm not going to cross her. So Dave had this very cute idea, like, oh, she can give you a little hall pass and you can shave a mustache. And it's like, no way, man. She'd light that thing on fire in front of me if I had a mustache. So yeah, I have been, oh, here we go. Check it out. Cat time. Told you.
What's the cat's name?
The cat's name is Scrooge.
Scrooge.
She's totally deaf, so she has no idea that we're talking about beer and stuff right now. And that's also why she'll make an entrance like this and just be really loud.
Don't you have all blind deaf pets, by the way?
Okay. Yes, that's true. Not intentionally. It's not like we have a fetish for blind or deaf pets, but that's what's happened to them over the time that we've owned them. And it's not because we're owners. They're old. It's not like we're making them go blind or deaf. Obviously, we love them.
Wait, no, you bring up a good point, Dave. That was BS. What Dave was saying about the hall pass for a mustache, right?
Yeah. No, there's no way. She was very adamant. Like, listen, that's not going to happen. And I, quite frankly, man, the reason I think you and I are similar in this way too. If I might be so bold, Rob, I don't really want to see my face with on it. I know my diet and my exercise regimen, and I know that it's not a good looking face unless it's covered in a lot of hair. So, and I'm sure my wife knows that too. And that's why she wants me to keep a beard instead of a mustache. So, yes. I'm not saying you're not good looking. It's just, it's more complimentary features to have a beard.
There's no chiseled jawline here that I'm hiding.
That's correct. Yeah. She actually said to me, she's like, you have a really weak jaw. And I don't know what you say to your wife when she says something like that to you, because you're just like, really? You start like kind of clenching your jaw. I mean, like, no, I'm fine. But
was this figurative or literal that she was speaking?
No, that was literal. She thinks I literally. I mean, well, both, I guess. It's an appearance thing, so both. But you know what? You had brought up Three Sheep, so Grant's like very committed to this, and I think something to all the guys talk very sincerely and eloquently about Movember and the cause. I think is awesome. It's cool to hear that we're used to talking like that about beer. That's our job, but we're also drawn to beer, and that's why we're in these jobs. And it's cool to hear everybody talk about something else that's more important. Beer is like a quality of life thing. It's kind of a luxury product. You buy it and then you enjoy it. It's not a necessity. And we're very lucky that we work for companies that make cool products that people enjoy. But like, this is a bigger, more serious issue. And like Grant brought it up to me, and I thought this was key. And I don't know if I heard anyone say it, but part of what motivates him and the reason he's so committed to the Movember stuff is all these things we talk about, whether it's testicular cancer or prostate cancer or men's health, mental health and suicide, they're all preventable. So it's not like you're dealing with something that's destined to happen, right? Like, you can be about it, get in front of it, be more aware and make a difference for yourself or for people you care about. Like some of the guys have talked about members of their family or close friends. Like, so I think that's a really good motivating reason to be involved. Plus we get together and we drink virtually, which is awesome.
This is awesome. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Well worth missing curling for the evening. You make me think of something. It's something I mentioned before, of using our standpoint of working for independent companies and getting to use the power of that platform to share ideas and to help benefit our community. It's something that I learned personally from a mutual friend of yours and mine, Jordan, and that's Adrian Pierluisi and Bruno Johnson. These are opportunities for us to really use our opportunity to find an audience for things that we find important. And I'm so appreciative that you do so in a very in a way that has a lot of integrity. So thank you for doing that, and to everybody part of the group tonight.
Honestly, I think for me, like, I'll be honest, like I hitch my wagon to this and I believe in it, but it's like I look at Lutz or I look at Dave Thorpe, who was on earlier, Eric, great example of people that are so committed to this. Jake is certainly kind of in that realm too, although a recent addition, and also kind of effeminate for a Mobro, but that's fine. Yeah, Jake, sick burn on camera. You have to deal with it because you don't have the mic on. So, no, Jake's awesome, and Nick too. Everybody on here, Ryan, like they're all like really good about setting up events and doing the fundraising and all that stuff. And I always feel like I'm kind of like the caboose, like I'm not. But you know, it is a thing that obviously impacts so many people. And I think there's kind of this taboo too about men where it's like, you know, if you were going to say like, who needs the most help in the world? Very few people would say men, right? Like objectively. Fair. But there's kind of some danger to the flip side of that coin is like, because there's that attitude and because it's dominant, men kind of internalize that and they don't do the things they should do to take care of themselves and be there for their families and be there for their friends and be there for their coworkers and all the people that care about them. So I think that's where this is a really nice niche where it's like, hey man, it's okay to think about yourself, you know, do it year round, but like take 1 month a year and like really make it a point to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So
some of us do it out of complacency. Some of us do it because we feel it. Sometimes it's selfish to think about ourselves first, but it's important to put yourself first. You're absolutely right. And, you know, I know that you really like to support and give love to all of your friends. You're a very caring man. You've said nothing but nice things about all the people that you have relationships with. You've never said anything disparaging about any of us before, I'm sure.
Rob, I sense some sarcasm.
See, that's the nice thing about actually getting to drink with you in person instead of text message. Sarcasm doesn't translate very well through text message.
Yeah, that's true.
So what's up with Three Sheeps? What, you guys, the tap room's open for you. You guys are aggressive.
Yeah. So we shut it down like right when COVID first kind of blossomed into this major problem, and out of kind of the abundance of caution that everybody else used that term. And then we kind of took a hard look at what we're doing in there and how could we configure this space so that it still works for us and is safe. And so it's gone through a couple permutations. Like at first you could only come in the front door. We had tables set up and we would kind of go to the taps, get your beer. And if you've ever come to our tap room and people are listening, the tens of thousands of people that are listening, if they want to come to the tap room, I strongly urge them to, because it's a big space. We've installed a bunch of HEPA filters, like really high-end filters that turn the air over every 6 minutes. Those things are hard to get and they're expensive, but we want people to come there and feel safe when they're taking their mask off to have a drink. But anyway, we've kind of reconfigured the space a few times during COVID to make sure like we're being as safe as possible for our staff and for the guests. But we're open, and you know, there's plexiglass hanging all the way around the bar. There's arrows showing you where to go. It's kind of regimented, which is not the way it typically functions. But yeah, man, it's been an interesting time. I think like all the guys have said, kind of all of us are used to going out and talking to people at bars and restaurants, and because that's our business, and it's not just liquor stores. Rob, obviously Ray's is a great spot. We all love it. There's plenty of other great stores too, but you know, virtually half of the universe that we deal with on a day-to-day basis is either shut down or they're greatly reduced in their capacity and they're hurting. And so I think for all of us, like this isn't a Movember thing, but we're all thinking about like, what can we do to support these places through the winter? So I guess I would just say, since we're on this thing, we have a megaphone, I guess. Keep doing takeout food. Like cooking from home is great and being healthy is great, but like go get beer and food at restaurants and bars, like please, because they need it. And every little bit helps. So, you know, we're grateful that we've been able to open our tap room, but we've always been like, hey, let's shut the tap room down early. Like the latest we ever stay open is 10 o'clock at night, because we've always had this idea, like people can come to our tap room, have a couple beers, but we want them to go out in Sheboygan and go to other bars. And we want If they're at the tap room having a beer and they want to order some food, we don't do food at the tap room. Cool. Like, let's have a bunch of menus available for them to order food for delivery. So it's about the community right now, I think, more than ever before, like trying to support each other. So yeah, I mean, tap room's open, come visit us, but then please go out in Sheboygan and spend some money elsewhere.
Where are you doing takeout in your neighborhood?
I live like right on this corner by an alley, and a lot of my neighbors seem to throw out perfectly good food. So I make my way up and down the alley a lot of times, get stuff out of the garbage cans. There's a family of raccoons that doesn't seem to like it very much, and there's this fox that has 3 legs, and I can usually get away from him pretty easily. But no, honestly, man, I mean, in Bayview, like, there's so many good spots, it's almost hard to name, but you know, Vanguard, who's very good to us on the beer side of things, good Odd Duck, Tenuda's, those are places we love here locally, Crafty Cow. And I would say some of those places too, like, for what it's worth, the places that have supported Movember, guys mentioned Brass Tap, Stenny's is a huge one. They're not really in our neighborhood where I live, but Walker's Point, Merriment Social, all those guys have been great to us and great to this cause. So it doesn't really, I would just say, like, it doesn't really matter where you go as long as you're going somewhere that's locally owned, ideally. You know, I love Taco Bell. I'll eat Taco Bell every day if you give me the chance, but I'm probably not eating as much Taco Bell.
No.
So
I could see the Vanguard guys actually making a Taco Bell inspired sausage, though.
I wish they would, Jim. I wish they would.
Yeah, Jim, you better be on this. That'd be awesome.
Send it to him if he's not on it. If he's probably asleep, dude. He's got a kid. He's like Jim, like, wants to be a 55-year-old man so badly, you know?
Well, and Chris is too busy with his radio DJ career now.
Yeah, Chris is actually doing something. Love you, Jim.
No posers. Well, dude, thank you again for joining us. I'm actually very impressed that you've been as lucid as you have been, making you wait this long to get on camera. So
thanks, Rob.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you too.
Thank you. I just want to say again to the whole group, really appreciate you guys joining us. I'm actually really impressed that, unfortunately, our audience on Raise TV can't see that I can see everybody still actually, like, upright and drinking and actually smiling, except for Ryan. I don't know, he's super serious. But it's been great, and really appreciate the community that this has offered me, and getting to do a little bit of a Raise Growler Gallery kind of event again. And just let's keep it up. Let's continue talking and hanging out. Happy Movember wrap-up party, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you.